On to the Spreydon Heathcote Community Board. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just being organised.
You're next, Pen. You're next. Right. Again, I'm assuming that Phil Clearwater, Tim Scandrett are moving and seconding, and there aren't any parte matters on the agenda, so welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to draw your attention to the Deputation 1.1, just talking about the potential risks, downstream risks of intensification. And just think that the community in Spreydon Heathcote is concerned about the downstream effects of intensification and also in new developments. You know, it's very well to say, well, the flooding will be mitigated, stormwater will be mitigated on the site, but where is that water going to go to? And particularly if there's development in retention basins. And I also wanted to point to our draft annual plan submission that calls for in the long-term plan, the development of a permanent off-road bus exchange at Barrington. I think it's important for the viability for the community and for bus users. I also wanted to point to just 8.2.3. We're looking forward to a resourcing proposal for community boards around communications. And note that the community board is going to be hosting a seminar around the Heathcote River with experts and community, identified community group leaders and interest groups to talk about a broader approach to the Heathcote. But there's also a need for a specific briefing for our community or communities around Heathcote flooding issues. There's been a lot of focus on other areas, and justifiably so, but the flooding around in Beckenham and Lower Cashmere is very stressful, and the Beckenham Neighbourhood Association and the Lower Cashmere Residents Association and the Summerfield Residents Association are in the process of running a survey, and that's been fed to the Flood Task Force, which is really good. And we really need to be sure that we know everyone whose house has been affected by flooding.
Yeah. Phil.
Just in relation to those meetings, Paul, I can assure you that today staff are obtaining some dates when technical staff around flooding will be able to come to those meetings. So there'll be some dates. Staff are working on that today.
Excellent. And you know, it's really important that we have clear information about the way forward and some answers about what is actually the cause of this flooding. I mean, I know that it's earthquakes and land movement and lots of rain, but there needs to be more answers than that. Yeah,
that's not a description of every area. So yeah, each area is being identified for the specific challenges that it's confronted with. Yeah, Pauline.
Okay, so regarding your concern about the Meadowlands development and where the water is going to go, I guess that information will come out when the detailed design comes out. But I think it's a really pertinent question at the moment. I wonder if we can get some information now about that to appease your community.
Yeah, I mean, it does, I won't say that it does look like a wonderful development, but the concern in the community and my concern is where the water is going to go. So I would like more information about that. And I have had a presentation regarding that development, but I haven't had any information about the downstream effects.
We were told the other day, Phil and I and Tim, that in the last rain event, one of the swales out at Wigram was dry. And so it appeared that it was not working, and we've also been told that it's actually not just a case of having them in there, but they have to be operated correctly. Therefore, that people operating them need to have skills and have them, especially when they've got the holding tanks and pumps and gates that open. So sometimes they need to be closed, sometimes partially open, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if there's any way we can look into perhaps seeing if they are being operated correctly and if they are working. If they're not working, the water goes straight into the river, which it's not supposed to do.
I wonder if this is an issue that Phil's committee could pick up.
Terry will pick it up.
Yep. Jimmy first.
May I ask you one question? On page 31, all members information exchange, the second bullet point, the Eddington parking, lack of disabled parking, etc. What is your action taking?
There should have been some specific points that were specifically requested by board member Carolyn Potter, and that is being followed up by traffic engineers, and I'm confident that they'll be there.
Yanni?
Just that wider piece of work around subdivision consenting in terms of flood and impact and stormwater retention. I thought the task force was going to look at that. Is it? It's not looking at any of that.
No, I think that comes into the whole land drainage recovery plan. There's a stream of work in there, but I'll look into it.
I don't think you should refer to it as a stream of work.
So we need. I mean, I know I've fed this in on a number of occasions. So there's two really critical things. One is existing subdivision consents, whether what's been consented is actually sufficient, whether the things that the subdivider said they were going to do as part of the development have actually happened, and then for future subdivisions, what is the kind of, is there any learning about what we do in terms of
the task force is reporting next Monday, so there may be in fact an ongoing role for the task force. That's something that we'll obviously have to consider as a council, but certainly in terms of whether any of the upstream developments are causing flooding further down, that absolutely has to be part of our consideration. Okay, Glenn.
Sorry, just looking through the Tonkin and Taylor report, either later last year or earlier this year, I found some information on flooding pertaining to the Heathcote, as well as Avon, if you wanted to access that, and I assume our staff are too.
It's online.
Yep.
Okay. That's the sea level rise one. Yep.
Yes, and I've read that report.
Me too. Let's not open up another debate. So I'm going to put the motion. I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank
now,
you,
Pam,
Thank you,
I'm going to leave the Part A item, Vicky, until I've gone through the Part B reports. Yeah.